Hey everybody, my name's Greg Sines.
Hi, my name is Josh Winters.
I live in Mercer, Pennsylvania.
I'm one of the race directors for the Davis Family YMCA Spring Classic Sprint Triathlon.
I've been doing triathlons for 5 years. I'm the president of Steel Valley Triathlon Club.
And on race day, you could probably find me lounging by the pool. So anyways, we're gonna have a conversation with Greg here. So Greg, tell us, in your experiences, some of the things regarding safety, bike safety, run safety.
Right.
Do you need a helmet?
Oh, absolutely. You don't get on the bike without a helmet. If you're doing triathlons, a lot of folks use what's called an aero helmet, which is what this is here. It's more aerodynamically sound. It helps when you're doing those time trial type efforts. This one has a visor in front that you can keep the sun out of your eyes with, and those type of helmets allow you to get a little bit more extra speed when you're doing time trial efforts on the tri bike, because everything in triathlon is all individual effort, no drafting or anything of that sort. So these type of helmets can help you with speed, but also have the safety involved as well.
But for a first-time triathlete, just going to your local bike shop or sporting goods store,
absolutely,
just getting a helmet.
A road helmet is perfectly fine. That gives you good protection. A lot of folks use helmets that have what's called a MIPS system.
Okay.
It's just a safety feature to keep the shock if something would happen, if you would fall. But definitely, do not get on the bike without having a helmet.
So speaking about safety gear, what other safety gear would you recommend? Reflectors, lights on the bicycle?
Right. On a bike, absolutely. You want to be able to be seen. I use a couple of lights on my bike that are red and white flashing lights, just to give folks an idea that there's someone there. We also have some things with radar capabilities that some folks have on their bikes. It gives them an idea of cars that are coming up behind them, because obviously we want to be safe as well. And those can tie into a little bike computer and show the cars that are coming at a higher rate of speed, and they beep, and then they also flash to let the motorists know that you are on the road. And definitely, if you can, wear bright colors or some sort of colors that kind of, I don't want to say clash, but create some sort of a thing where you can be seen from a farther distance. So yellows, bright oranges.
Reflective.
And any reflective type gear is very important for any type of road cycling at any type of or time of day.
Okay. Yeah. Now, riding on the road, you always ride in the right lane with traffic.
Yes, yeah. You are essentially a motorist, so you will want to ride your bike on the right side of the road with all the other motorists. If you can, stay over to the right side of the white line if there's a large enough berm to be able to do so. But we do have the same rights that any motorists have as well. So if you need to be farther into the road, you can. I know that there's rules where you shouldn't maybe ride 2x2 or anything like that for any long stretch of period of time. But as long as you're on the road there, you want to stay on the right side and keep your distance to everyone else, and so that they can get around you safely. I mean, the motorists are supposed to give you 4 feet of space, but if you've ever ridden down the roads, sometimes that doesn't happen, so you just have to be alert in those type of situations.
Right. Yeah. So one of the things on the bike you have to do is braking.
Yeah.
Is there a proper way to brake, when to brake, which brake to use, front versus rear?
Right, yeah, generally your back brake is probably the one that you're going to want to use mostly, because if you start using the front brake too much, then you can have a situation where you stop too fast and then you could go over your handlebars and everything. So most of the time it's just feathering that back brake if you need to, and obviously in corners that's very important. If you have a bike like this, a time trial bike, they don't normally corner too well because they want to go straight and fast. So you have to kind of take more of a wider turn, almost like a semi-truck on certain things. But yeah, back brake is mainly your best situation for braking. You don't want to jam it too fast or anything, because then obviously you could just stop very quickly. So feathering the brake in the back and then just a little bit on the front. I think they say normally about maybe 70-30 type of thing. The railroad track, you want to try to be as perpendicular to those things as possible so that your wheels do not go into the railroad track. So you always have to be cognizant of what's on the road and take a look in front of you and see what's going on to make sure that you're ready for those situations when they do arise.
Sure.
Yep.
So what about the conditions? What if it's rainy out or
Right.
it just rained and the roads are wet?
Right.
What can a new person expect?
Sure. I know that this triathlon sometimes has a penchant for having not great weather, but I think we're doing better with it, having it a little bit closer to the summertime. But
Right.
rain does happen, and it does happen on the roads, and it does create a little bit of a hazard for folks when they're riding their bikes. So the best thing to do if you are riding in wet weather is to make sure that you do not ride on the lines on the road, like the white lines or the yellow lines on the road, because that paint, it can be a little bit more slick than the rest of the road. So if you're on those white lines, it can definitely make your ride a little bit slippy. So you just want to try to stay straight as possible. And if you need to reduce your speed, it's just like any time. If you're driving through snow, you're driving through rain, if the conditions aren't great, then you just have to back off. You don't need to go as fast as you possibly can. You want to make sure that you're in control at all times.